Welcome to Autism in Black Live. We are rooted in advocacy, not fear, rooted in truth, not stigma. Here, we center Black autistic voices, uplift Black families, and build spaces that are affirming, unapologetic, and full of joy. Whether you are a parent, professional, or autistic adult, this is your space. Together, we break down barriers and build up community. So grab your seat at the table. We're just getting started. Welcome, everybody. Layout's a little different today. I am Maria Davis Pierre. I'm the CEO and founder of Autism in Black, and this is our Vision to Venue series, where we are highlighting the vision that it takes to get to our actual conference. And I am here with my other half.
What's going on, everybody? AIB community. You're truly Dr. Pierre, founder of Autism in Black. What's up, yeah?
What's up? So, as I said, this is an actual series that we're doing up into April 16th, because the conference starts April 17th through the 19th. You can get your tickets scrolling across that link below. But this series that we're doing is our daily series where we're talking about what it takes to get to the conference. And if you have missed any of the prior episodes, because this is episode 5, you can go and check us out on the Autism in Black YouTube page. So you just put in Autism in Black, and it should take you to this Autism in Black YouTube page. And as you can see, you can actually hit playlist, and there's the Vision to Venue series right there. So you can just go and watch all the episodes you've missed, catch up, like and subscribe, comment.
Yeah, we need because she's right now at the time we're reading this. It is what, the 4th of February. She's at 559 subscribers. At the end of this series, we should be easily over 1,000. So y'all make that happen.
Let's make it happen, y'all. Let's make it happen. So yes, you can watch all of the episodes you've missed on our YouTube page. So let's get into today's episode. Let me get us ready here. Stop our share. Get us here. All right. So let's get into today's episode. As we talked about yesterday, today we are talking about people, and we're going to start, we're highlighting people every Wednesday, rather. And today we're going to talk about what it takes to actually have this. And it's the team that is behind the actual Autism in Black conference. So I'm going to throw it to Dr. Barry, and he's going to start us off today.
Yeah, I think this was one of the, well, we think every episode is great, right? But as far as kind of having a spotlight on, just what makes the Autism in Black conference great, we talk about it all the time: community, and no stronger community than the ones that help grow this organization to kind of where it's at. So we wanted to make sure that in the inaugural episode highlighting those who make the conference great, we wanted to highlight those who are on the inside, right? We wanted to kind of highlight our team members who have been holding us down for the years, because there was a time when there was only two. And when I tell you the amount of work that I do now compared to the amount of work I used to do before, they are a godsend, right? So we definitely want to make sure we kind of go through the process of how did we get to the point here where we're hosting our second in-person conference, right? So that's I think that's the big thing for us, is you guys are going to kind of walk through, I guess memory lane for us in highlighting those who continue to make us great.
Exactly. If you've watched previous episodes, you know that year 1 and 2, it was solely me and Barry. So we were the ones that were doing all of the behind the scenes work that you're finding about on the series. So it was just me and him doing every single thing.
And again, it was one of those things where it started out as an idea of, hey, we should do this conference thing. and we were like, oh yeah, maybe a few people show up. And that's kind of how we even got, like, on our first conference. We were in a Zoom, right? Because Zoom holds enough. We were like, oh, 20 folks show up, so that a Zoom channel would be enough for them. And it was, brainchild and working, and me and Maria going back and forth, choosing the some amazing speakers who are still with us to this day. We have conference goers who are still with us to this day as well too, man. Shout out to y'all.
We're gonna highlight
And
y'all on your own episode.
definitely. And it was just kind of us kind of working together, to kind of, envision this. And I do remember, I don't know if you remember, Maria, just how tired we both were that Sunday, right?
Woo.
That last day when it was like, okay, it's done. We're we're checking out. Like,
we got through it.
and so that I think that's when we realized, like, oh, we can't keep doing this by ourselves.
No,
we realized very quickly, like, yeah, if we want this to continue to do, and yeah, we're gonna have to get some team members. So
especially because
that's where,
because the Autism in Black ball had to keep rolling. So yeah, we were tired from the conference, but I still had speaking engagements, podcast. I still had things to do, and being that burnt out after a few days, we was like, yeah, we gotta do something.
And that don't even include parenting, because it was in our house. So we were taking turns, like, all right,
yeah,
to the kids.
Yeah. Shout out to our kids for being as quiet as they could and doing things and keeping themselves distracted, I guess, during the time, the entire weekend. Because we stopped doing it in our house year 4. So years 1, 2, and 3, we were in our house. Year 4, we went and actually booked a hotel for the weekend and did it there. And then, year 5, we were in person. And this year 6 will be in person. So yeah, years 1, 2, and 3, we were in the house, and them kids were, doing the best they could to not distract. So yes, we were by ourselves. Then year 3, Cori with Team IROC came in to help us out. Year 3, and Cori.
And let's kind of talk about that, as far as what was some of the decision making that even, obviously us being tired, but like, as far as like getting someone to kind of assist with a conference, like what were some of the thoughts that made us say, like, hey, because again, like, because I know I'm gonna have some of our business folks and entrepreneurs who may want to do a conference, who trying to figure out, like, all right, when should I stop doing everything by myself, and when should I, like, enlist some help?
So how we got Cori is actually, she was going to be handling our social media, because usually, and if y'all remember, Autism in Black on social media was really only active during conference time. And then once conference was over, y'all wouldn't see me again until the next April. And we wanted to, be consistent with our messaging on social media. So we initially started working with Cori to handle that piece for us, because it was, draining for me to think about all of those moving pieces of social media and making sure that our brand voice was being heard. And we were in the process of onboarding and hiring her right when conference 2 started. And she said, oh, so let me hop on and try to do some assisting on live assisting with conference 2, and then we can see how we can tie this in further years. And when she so we had done all of the conference stuff without Cori, and then she was like, when we started to hire her, it was like the end of March of the year 2 conference. So she came on and she was helping manage the comments. Anybody who's been on a Autism in Black conference online knows that the chat is going the entire time. It's at that time 200, 300 people on, just going, typing in, talking, giving praise. And it's hard when you are hosting, managing, and then trying to manage the chat. So she was managing the chat, and at the end she had all these kind of checklists and summaries. I was like, oh, this is very organized. and and it was very stress free. And I was like, oh, I like this. And I talked to Barry, and then we added that into our package where we're working with Cori, and she came in and said, we're going to start this a lot earlier now. So if you remember, then year 3. When we were going to year 3 of the conference, we started everything much earlier because we now had another team member coming in helping with the organization. As I talked about, I have, I am autistic and have ADHD. Executive functioning organization is not my strong suit. So bringing her in, she came in. We had now deadlines and timelines on speakers, on getting deliverables, on all of those of things. So adding her in fully year 3, that was, took a lot off of our plates.
And I like that because it's one of those things where when you're just doing the thing, right? And Maria knows I'm a big proponent of sometimes you're not going to know 100% how to do something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the analysis paralysis of waiting until you are 100% ready to do something hinders so many folks from just doing their thing that I said, all right, we just got to just go. Right. So again, when we're doing a conference, again, we didn't know what to do. We didn't know the process of it.
Mm-hmm.
So now you get this team member, Cori and iRock, who are able to kind of say like, oh, we should do this and we should do that. And we're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So a lot of things start like clicking together, and that's what happens when you have a good team, right? So it's definitely a side caveat to make sure you when you are ready to embark on some some great adventures, and you want to bring someone in, make sure that they can bring their own ideas and
Mm-hmm.
assist your dream, your passion, your goal, whatever you're trying to do to get to that next level.
Exactly. And Cori is still with us currently working into year 6 of conference. Her role is still the same up until conference, and then it changes, which we'll talk about for live in person. But it's been us working it out, and then year 5, which we'll talk about on another episode, we added in our conference planner as well as other roles as well.
And I think it's important, especially as having Cori.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because I think Cori, if I remember correctly, I don't remember the dates, but I believe so. I believe Cori was the first team member addition, just in general. She was a contract, but to AIB,
Mm-hmm.
and having Cori is what led me to say, hey, you know what? We need to add people to AIB's team, right?
Yes.
Like it's one of those things where a lot of people were getting this misconception that we had this big team behind us doing everything. And they were always shocked, right? For example, I think for the first couple of years, I don't think people even realized what I did with AIB, right? They were just like this. Maria was just kind of this shadow organization that things just kind of happened. So it really took us and getting Cori. That's why, again, I love having that team aspect of it, of getting Cori and getting her addition to the team for me to say like, oh, Maria, you need someone for the AIB team as well too. So we ended up getting an assistant specifically for Maria and just AIB in general, because we realized how beneficial that was just on the addition with the conference.
Exactly. So Cori is an independent contractor for her. We contract her services. But going into year 5 of conference, we added actual AIB employee.
Yep.
So we have an autism. Now we have more than one, but we'll talk about that. But we have F, who we added on, who is my executive assistant. One thing that with Autism in Black, with our organization, is I was pretty accessible to, if you were sending the emails, it was me. If whatever you were doing, it was usually me. And I was so accessible that it was also very draining. And for anybody who has a business and that business is growing, you know that you eventually are not going to be able to do all the moving parts. And with me being so accessible, that was one of the things that we wanted to, have kind of a safety net in front of me so I wouldn't be so accessible. I love our community. I love engaging, but things, I can be focusing on other tasks rather than something that, an executive assistant can be doing. So we added in F going into year 5 on Team AIB. And she does a lot. So if you're emailing, that's usually who you're talking to. She also is handling the online portion of Conference Now. She will be in the chat. That's usually one of the individuals you are talking with if you are in attending the conference virtually and you see Autism in Black Support. Usually it's F that is behind Autism in Black Support that you are talking with. So yeah, we added her in. And do you want to talk about the second member that we added on as well to
Oh,
team?
sure. Yeah, I think especially as we, definitely it's and again, and it's one of those things where we just left a great conference in Atlanta, and like it's one of those things where like you recognize a lot of times the bottleneck of your organization growing is yourself, right? That was a key theme of discussion that when you're trying to grow and expand, a lot of times you are in your own way. And Maria tell you, right? She has some, because of her autism, she doesn't, sometimes she won't make the decision, or sometimes she delays the decision. And with AIB, because it's growing and growing, we almost had to kind of pick her up and move her out the way so people can kind of make and do some work for her, right? And that was one of the benefits we saw when we got Cori on, right? That now the decision making process was outside, right? It didn't need to go through Maria to then happen, right? Like it happened because we instilled the training to say, yep, we like this. This is what we like. You can say yay or nay. And then, so that was kind of like a growth that we've had over this, again, because we're only 6 years into the conference, 8 years into just the org in general.
9 years.
9 years, 9. Wow. Next year's 10. Wow. It's moving. So it is one of those things where it's just making sure you have a great support team, right? So shout out to the support team. But yeah, we could talk about our newest member.
Yes. Well, he's not quite. He's about to be going
not
into.
quite new.
He's going into his 1 year this summer. So after year 5 was done, we were like, okay, we need to move towards really making a lot of stuff in-house AIB so that I can be able to be like, okay, this needs to get done. And, it needs to get done within an hour. Executive functioning. So sometimes I'm very last minute and need something very quickly. So F added, told us about her partner who does videos and graphic design. So after year 5 of conference, we started onboarding him to be able to handle that aspect, because usually we are, as we've grown, we've added more events, which you've noticed. So we do have our main conference every April, but now we have a lot of summits, workshops that we're doing, and we do a lot of marketing with that. So we needed an in-house member that really could handle those graphics. I don't know if you all noticed, but we've really amped up the marketing, which we'll talk about tomorrow with AIB. So we added Christian on last summer, and he has been doing amazing. So he is our last addition to the Autism in Black team. And I'm sure we'll talk about on another episode, maybe even tomorrow, the team members that we are also adding in 2026.
Yep. And I love it. And it's about the support. It's about the team. And as you can see, right, we haven't mentioned 10 people, 20 people,
No.
which some people may think you need to, have a virtual summit and virtual conference and in-person conference. So like you can start small as long as you have the mission in mind. Right? As long as you have the mission in mind, the game plan in mind, and you're ready to work, you can definitely make things happen.
Exactly, because remember, we are going into year 6 of conference, but overall, we've almost been a business for a decade, and currently, Team Autism in Black is 4 people that is running this ship, and does fall a lot on us. And as we're expanding, we're, adding in those team members, but, it wouldn't be possible without the people who are helping us get a lot of these things done. So we are always thankful to Cori and Team IROC, and then of course to F and Christian, who have been doing what they've been doing behind the scenes with Autism in Black. You all really see a lot of my face and now Dr. Barry's face, but we do have people who are helping us to make sure that our message stays out there, to make sure you see what we're offering. So we have to highlight them and what they do. And of course, you guys who watch us, who buy tickets, the people that we will be talking about who's been rocking with us since conference 1, and we're going into 6. Thank you for that. Listening to the podcast, subscribing to our YouTube.
Subscribe to that YouTube, y'all. We need to see 1,000 subscribers. We need to see it. By the time this thing is done, I want to see it. I want to come back on April 16th, say, hey, congratulations, we got to the 1,000. So make sure, I'm pretty sure it's the YouTube channel is probably in that autismblack.org/links. Make sure you hit that subscribe button today.
And thank you all for that, because we know that there's a community who needs to hear our messaging, because so often as Black parents, as Black autistic individuals, we feel this isolation when it comes to having someone understand that intersectionality. And here we are, Autism in Black, we address that, right? We talk specifically to that. I am a Black autistic woman who was late diagnosed. I'm raising 3 neurodivergent children, 2 of whom are autistic. And I am a licensed clinician who's doing this work. So when you're talking about the parenting aspect, or you're talking about being autistic, or you're talking about doing this professionally, we actually understand those things. We have the lived experience. So you're not alone in this. So thank you for all of your support in that.
Indeed.
What else is that?
I think that's it for today. I want to, because we wanted to make sure that, the initial team, up until in person, because like I said, I think that
we got some more. We got more team members that we work with. Highlighting. We want to stretch out until we're doing this till April 16th, because the conference is when, y'all? April 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets in person here in West Palm Beach, Florida, or virtually from anywhere. So we got, some weeks to talk about all of our other members. And if you're one of our team members and watching, we have not forgot you. We're talking about you on a different episode. Thank you for tuning in today, Wednesday, where we're talking about our members. Tomorrow is marketing.
Yes. I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm excited. In fact, by the time, if you're watching this, very soon, you'll see one of Maria's ads pop up on a Facebook ad, a Google ad, I think a thread. Like, we're trying to work, right? We need y'all in a conference, right? Need y'all in that conference. So we gotta make sure.
Yes, we are, again, the theme is rooted in healing. So we know that this is a time where we need to come together as a community. So we want to see y'all at the conference, whether it's in person with us or virtually. So make sure you're getting those tickets. And tomorrow we'll be talking about marketing, where Dr. Barry will be. I'll be listening more so, because I don't really handle the marketing. I just do what Dr. Barry tells me to do, which we'll talk about tomorrow. But thank you all for tuning in this Wednesday evening. Hope your week is going well. We are almost at the end of the week. I'm looking forward to this weekend. We got some very special stuff happening this weekend behind the scenes for Autism Black Conference as well, which we might talk about next week, depending. So thank you all for tuning in. Like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get your tickets April 17th through the 19th for the 6th annual Autism in Black Conference, where our theme is rooted in healing. You can attend in person in West Palm Beach, Florida, or virtually. So have a good Wednesday evening, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Okay, so we see you out there.